All right, so we are going to finish up. This is activity 3, and we're going to fix those bugs. And they're really not bugs, it's kind of like glitches and some things that we need to do. So if we go to um, we're on page 7, and we're going to make some minor adjustments. So the first will be compared to score. Score is larger than that, it becomes the newest one. The first loop doesn't stop there, it keeps checking. So we got to figure out how we're going to stop that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this thing called break. This will stop whatever the loop is running and run to the next block. That's what we need. So at the bottom of the if-then statement, we're going to add a break block. So we're going to go to loops, we're going to go to break, and then the bottom of the if-then statement. So right here at the bottom of this is going to cause that loop to stop, and that's what we want to do. All right. So once we get that loop to stop, well, let's try it out and see what happens. So we're going to play the game. We're switching level difficulty to 1. So we're going to play the game. I'm going to make sure I kill myself. So, well, I'm going to let the enemies kill me so we can see what happens. So we see what happens. I put my name in. It says Amy is 6, but then it still has A515. So we're better, but guess what? It still has that, and it loops this again. So we need to figure out how we're going to reset it. So is it better? Yeah, but hasn't reset anything. So we need that fixed. Okay, we definitely got to get that fixed. So we've gotten better, but we still need to troubleshoot something else. So when we get back here, they still have an issue. The game resumes, and we talked about that. So, so we see all of this stuff happen. Right, that's why it's important to read this. So number 2, it says after the loop, which displays your high score, adds blocks which will. So we're going to set the enemy velocity back to its value. We're going to set the score back to 0. I'm going to set the number of lives back to 3. So once we do this, we're going to test it again. Okay, so those are 3 more things we're going to add. So I'm just going to duplicate, and I believe the original was the original enemy velocity was 25, so I'm going to move it back to 25. If you want to make it higher, you can, but I'm just going to move it back to the original level. So we're going to do 3 things. We're going to set the velocity. So I'm just going to duplicate 3 of them. That way I don't have to go back. So enemy velocity, we're going to set that to 25. It also says the score. Oh, wait, we don't need them. Sorry. We're going to set score to 0. And we are going to set life to 3. So now let's see what we're going to do. We're going to go difficulty 1, and I see them shooting. Let's get something so I can save everything. So I would definitely want my score to show up. So I don't think it's going to show up with 3. All right, we got 7 here, so that should be good enough. All right, so for my name, Amy has 20, A has 5, A has 15. Now it starts over, it's reset. So I want to get it to 5 so I can change my score again. 4, 5, 6, 7, and lose a life, lose a life, lose a life. I'm going to say boo. And Amy has 20, Boo has 8, A has 5, and we are done. And let's see what happens if we don't hit the high score. What happens? So, we don't get anything. So that's something you could use as an enhancement, but that's pretty much it. We are finished, and this is what you should have on your so this is what your code should look like. This is all we did today was right here. We made changes. So we had, this is what we added here. And then we did this whole entire life 0. All right. We talked about loops. We had 2 for loops. And then we had to also reset. So we had reset. We had 2 for loops, which we're going to be doing again. So we had 2 for loops. All right. And then we also had 2 arrays. And if you can't remember that, another word for array is a list. All right. Hope this helps. This is all you need. And like I said, this is all the code you need was right here. All right.